So in the previous class we had discussed about the atoms, molecules and the ions. So in this class we will discuss about the chemical formula, how to write a chemical formula. So first of all, what is the chemical formula? A chemical formula of a compound is a symbolic representation of its composition. So chemical formula can be defined as chemical formula of a compound is a symbolic representation of its composition. So the chemical formula of different compounds can be written very easily. So we need to learn the symbols and the combining capacity of the elements. So the chemical formula is the symbolic representation of its composition. So for that we should know the symbols and we should know the combining capacity of the elements. So the combining capacity of the elements, that is known as valency. Valency can be used to find out how the atoms of an element will combine with the atoms of another element to form a chemical compound. So using the valency or using the combining capacity of the elements, we can find out how one atom is combining with the another atom to form a compound. So the valency of the atom of an element can be thought of as hands or arms of that atom. For example, if we will take the example of human beings, like we have 2 arms and an octopus has 8. So when we want to catch something or we want to hold something, we are using our both the arms. Similarly, when octopus has to catch something or hold a people in such a manner that all the 8 arms of the octopus and both arms of the human beings are locked. So that is why this like that only, similar to that situation, valency, which is the combining capacity of the elements, that determines that how the atoms will combine to form compound, what is their combining capacity. So for that we should know the common ions, their valencies and their charge. So for that we will see this table. We will refer in your book, a table is given for the symbol of some ions. So you can see here the valencies are given. Some elements are having only 1 valency, some are having 2 and some are having 3 valencies along with the ions and the symbol. Sodium Na plus valency 1, potassium K plus valency 1, silver Ag plus, copper Cu plus, so hydrogen H plus, this is hydride H minus, chlorine Cl minus. So here ammonium NH4 plus, hydroxide OH minus. So all these are the examples of some ions with their symbols whose valency is 1. And here magnesium, calcium, zinc, iron, copper, oxide, sulfide, carbonate, sulfide, sulfate, all their valencies are 2. So again here aluminium, iron, nitride, phosphate, they are having valency 3. So you can refer this table for the symbol and the valencies. So more details regarding the valency we will study in the next chapter. So now we will see some rules. We have to follow some rules while writing a chemical formula. So to form a chemical formula or to write a chemical formula, we have to follow some rules. Like first one is the valency or charges on the ion must balance. So second is when a compound consists of metal and non-metal, the name or symbol of the metal written first. Like for example calcium compound, okay, calcium compound, sodium chloride. So here here in these examples, this is our calcium oxide, sodium chloride, iron sulfide. So when we are writing a chemical compound, when we are writing that consists of a metal and non-metal, calcium is metal, oxygen is non-metal, sodium is metal, chlorine is non-metal, iron is metal, sulfur is non-metal. So when we are combining a compound or writing a compound that consists of metals and non-metal, then we should write the metal first than non-metal. So here also you can see oxygen, chlorine, sulfur, all these are on the right side, whereas calcium, sodium, iron, these are the metals and these are written on the left. So we should write first the metal, then only the non-metals. Next is, if the compounds are formed with polyatomic ions, then the ion is enclosed in a bracket before writing. Like if the number in case of polyatomic ion is 1, then bracket is not required. For example NaOH, here ion is 1, so bracket is not required. Here bracket is required because of the ion. So here also bracket is not required because the polyatomic ion is 1. So if the polyatomic ions there are more polyatomic ions, then it is enclosed in a bracket to indicate the ratio. Otherwise, if the number of polyatomic ion is 1, then the bracket is not required. Now we will find out how to make formula of simple compounds. So the simplest compounds which are made up of two different elements, they are called binary compounds. Valencies of some ions, these are given in the previous page. I had told you in the previous table. So we can use the valencies of some ions from that, and we will use these ions to form the compounds or to write the formula of the compounds. So when we write the chemical formula for compounds, we write the constituent elements. First of all, we should write the constituent elements, then we must cross over the valencies of the combining atoms. For example, I am giving you first example, hydrogen chloride. So here you can see hydrogen chloride, the constituent elements are hydrogen and chlorine. So first we will write the symbol. Hydrogen symbol is H, chlorine symbol is Cl. Then already I have shown you the valency. You can use that table to write the valency. So valency of hydrogen is 1 and chlorine is also 1. Then we will do the crossover. So after getting the crossover is both of the side it is 1. So we can write HCl. So another example I am showing you. So hydrogen sulfide, here the constituent elements are hydrogen and sulfur, and the valency we can write for hydrogen 1, for sulfur 2. Then we can cross over, then you can get that hydrogen is getting 2 and sulfur is getting 1. So the formula is H2S. For hydrogen sulfide, the formula is H2S because symbol is hydrogen, and after crossover the 2 number is coming to the H. So like that you can form many other formulas. So some few important examples I am giving you just. So for magnesium chloride, symbol is magnesium and chlorine, the constituent element symbol magnesium and chlorine, and charge also given in the previous table you can use. Magnesium is having 2 plus charge, positive charge. You can't write like this. This is the wrong process of writing. So we have to write like this, 2 plus, and chlorine is having 1 negative charge, that is 1 minus, and the formula formed is MgCl2. So I had told you that it should be balanced. The rule said us that if the charges or the valencies on the ion, that must balance. So here in magnesium chloride there are 2 chloride ions. There are 2 chloride ions for each magnesium ion. So magnesium is having 2 plus charge, but there are 2 chloride ions for each magnesium ion. The positive and negative charge balance each other, and the overall structure must be neutral. So when we write the formula, the positive and negative charge, they should balance each other and it should be neutral, structure should be neutral. So when we write the formula, here we do not indicate the charges. So here we do not indicate the charges, but we use the charges to form the formula. So in the formula, no charges are, no ions, charges on the ions are indicated. Okay, so here we will not indicate Mg double plus or Cl minus. So we use this charge to form the formula, but here these charges will not be indicated. So now you are little bit clear about how to form the compound. Some more examples I am giving you. Next example is calcium oxide. The constituent elements are calcium and oxygen, and the charges, calcium charge 2 plus charge, oxygen is 2 minus. So here in this case we will not write. I told you that after crossover we can make the formula. So we will not write here Ca2O2, we will not write, because both the valencies of the two elements are the same. So of the two elements, these valencies or the charge, that is same, so it can be cancelled and we can write only CaO, calcium oxide. So we can write only CaO. These two are, since these two are same, we can write the simplest form as CaO. So next is our calcium hydroxide. So here calcium hydroxide, it constitutes of calcium and hydroxide. So we can write calcium OH is our hydroxide. So OH hydroxide consists of oxygen and hydrogen. So you can check in the table also, you can see. So hydroxide, that indicates OH. So it is itself a formula, OH, hydroxide. So here the calcium is having 2 plus charge, hydroxide is having 1 negative charge. So here we are using bracket. We cannot write CaOH2 because this 2 indicates the whole hydroxide. This 2 is for the whole hydroxide. So we will write the subscript 2 here. The subscript 2 that indicates there are 2 hydroxyl groups. 2 hydroxyl groups means 2 OH groups joined to 1 calcium atom. So this bracket and the subscript 2 indicates that there are 2 hydroxyl groups or OH groups that joined with 1 calcium atom. So in other words we can say there are 2 atoms each of oxygen and hydrogen in calcium hydroxide. So there are 2 atoms each of oxygen and hydrogen in calcium hydroxide. So we are using here bracket and this process of writing is wrong. Next is our ammonium sulfate. So here ammonium itself is a formula consisting of nitrogen and hydrogen. Sulfate is also a formula consisting of sulfur and oxygen. So for ammonium we will write NH4 and for sulfate we will write SO4. So for ammonium charge is 1 plus and sulfate charge is 2 minus. So here also after crossover the 2 is going here. This indicates that both the nitrogen and hydrogen. So here also we will use the bracket to indicate the subscript 2. So here also the bracket is used. So now I think you are clear where the bracket to be used and where not to be used. So in your book so many questions are given to write down the names of the compounds or the formulas. So you have to do that. In the next class we will discuss about the molecular mass and mole concept.